So this episode we're going to be making pickled beets. Right now I am boiling the beets. It takes about 15 minutes. These are not red beets. These are white beets. A little less earthy flavor. Nevertheless, they are absolutely delicious. So let's let them boil for 15 minutes. Then we will get our other ingredients ready and we will can them. Okay, and we're back. So the beets have boiled for approximately 15 minutes. So now we're going to peel them. They're golden beets. I might have said white before, I don't remember. So we'll get these peeled. Look at that color, beautiful. Okay, put it aside. They're tender, but we don't want them. You don't want them mush. We just want them a little tender. Get all the skin off. Let me move this out of the way. Again, have a nice sharp knife. Sorry, my peeling techniques are not as quick as everybody else's, but you know what? I get the job done. They're a little warm. You soak them for about 5 minutes in cold water. Keep about a cup of the beet juice, because we'll need that later when we pickle them. I have my little compost bucket here, and what I do is, we live in the country, so I compost. If you don't, not necessary, but definitely if you're an environmentalist, this is the way to go. So be true to yourself. If you say you care about the planet, then there's a lot more than you could do than just drive a electric car. To try stuff like that, you got to get out. That's no good. Get as deep as you can and get all that out. That's just like a worm. That will not be good when you are doing your canning process. Canning, pickling, whatever you want to call it. Very much the same thing. Different methods for some of them, but it mostly involves using vinegar, salt. Some people use sugar, but I find that the beets are naturally sweet. And what you will find is this is a very, very unique flavor. This is, and don't take this the wrong way, it's earthy. So it's, I don't want to say dirt, but that's what I could compare it to. Is a very earthy flavor. So I almost got all of these peeled. Sorry again, taking so long here. But as you can see, they're beautiful in color once you get them peeled. See anything, try to get it off. Got one more to go. Peel it all the way around. Then I'll put these scraps in the compost bin, and I will have some amazing soil modifier for next year. And you can compost right throughout the year. Maybe it won't compost as quick in the winter, but as soon as the weather gets warm, you'll have great compost. Okay, so those are all peeled. Let's get my table a little cleaned up here, my cutting board. Get all the junk. I'm gonna wash my hands real quick. Okay, now we cut our beets. And we put them back into the water, the cup or two that we saved. Look at the colors on that, wowzers. That is beautiful, look at that. Look at the patterns in there. So I cut them in half, just because it's a little easier. Get rid of the ends. Not that they're no good, but I like to have a nice clean process. I cut them about a little less than a half inch. Okay, and then I cut them in half once again, just because they're easy to eat that way. Okay. The red ones they're delicious too, and they will really stain your hands if you do not use gloves. These are not as bad because they're golden, but if you do look at the water after we're done, you can see that beets have a very powerful color in them. You could even add onions to these. Gives it a little additional flavor. Add a little bit of red onion. They will pickle very well with this. So, looks like we're just about cutting them all. And I think I have just about enough for a full mason jar. So let me find one. This one I have already prepared with boiling. All the utensils that I use, they are boiled as well. Now we'll simply put the beets in our jar that has been sanitized. And then the process takes about 2 weeks with the vinegar, the salt. You could use pickling salt, or you could use a coarse salt, which is what I prefer, like a sea salt. Push them down in there. This one, get rid of that, didn't look too good. So that was approximately 5 beets. A little smaller than a baseball. We're getting there. Doesn't look like I need an onion. Looks like I got enough here. And now what I'm going to do, the ratio will be a 2-to-1 ratio. 2 cups, 2-to-1. So if you were to use 2 cups of water, you would use 1 cup of vinegar. I'm gonna get a little bit of a strainer here. I'm gonna strain about there we go. The rest will be vinegar and salt and maybe a teaspoon of sugar. The salt, I'll probably put about 2 teaspoons of salt. It looks like it's going to hold about ½ a cup of vinegar. And then I will boil it in my container that has boiling water. Leave it in there for about 15 minutes. Then let it cool down, and I'll put it in the refrigerator and revisit it in about 2 weeks. and I can guarantee you these are going to be absolutely delicious. So come see Prep and Petey one more time, and we will have another delicious recipe for you in the future. Hit that like button, and everyone have a great day. This is Preppy Petey signing off.